This is so ridiculous. But anyway, hey, what's up everyone? Ollie here. I've got the new iMac here. Gonna give an unboxing, first impressions, see what it's like. Let's get into it. Right, so this is the silver model. I've gone with the silver model. All the other colors, I mean, they look great, but I just prefer silver for like, I wish they did space gray or black, of course, but I wanted to go for a more sort of minimalist, monotone, monochromatic look. The box matches the color, of course, so you can see the silver in the back. You also have a silver handle on the top. This is the upgraded model, so it comes with the 4 USB-C ports on the back. It also comes with the Touch ID keyboard as well. So those are the two main things that I really wanted to try out. That's why I went for the upgraded version. Oh, that's satisfying. Okay, so let's actually get into it, shall we? Let's open it up. There we go. Actually, this is a bit too bright. Let's bring it down. There we go. So all white. You can actually see the hello text just written in there very faintly. And the box comes out either side, like so. And then we have the iMac itself. So I'm actually going to put the iMac on the desk and then we'll go through the accessories. Oh wow, it's actually, it's really light. I wasn't expecting it to be so light. It's actually much lighter and smaller than I expected. Okay, so now that we've got it out, we can actually go into the accessories. And we can see we have all of our accessories. We have the Touch ID keyboard. We can see the Touch ID button at the top. We have our MagSafe power adapter thing. I assume that's the power, and actually that's documentation. Magic mouse. Oh wait, or is that the power brick underneath there? Oh, the power brick is underneath there as well. And then we have the actual wall adapter. So we'll get all of these out and look at them individually. Okay, so all the accessories are here. They're not laid out very nicely, but I was just trying to get them out quickly. With the documentation, you actually only get, I think it's only 1 sticker. I know with the other machines you get 2 that are different colors, but with this one, you only get, you only get the 1 sort of silvery sticker. Anyway, the lightning cable itself is really nice. This braided lightning cable is a very, very nice touch. It feels super high quality as well. It's got a USB-C port on one end, lightning cable on the other. Lightning cable will charge the keyboard and the mouse, of course. Let's have a look at the keyboard itself. Keyboard is very similar to a normal Apple keyboard, of course, but it has the Touch ID button. Oh, the Touch ID button is actually very different from the other keys. So it's very clicky rather than clacky. And that's the best way I can describe it, really. But the keyboard itself is pretty much exactly the same with a bit more rounded edges. Cool. Magic mouse I expect to be the same, to be honest. I don't expect that to be changed much at all. Oh, I mean, there's some subtle changes, like the rails on the bottom are a bit different. But yeah, it's exactly the same. There's no difference. I can't believe they still haven't updated the design. Why can't we move this lightning port to the front? Like, what is this? You have to charge it upside down. Hilarious. And then if we look at the actual charging cable, so the charging cable is attached to the brick. We can remove, how are we supposed to remove this then? Oh, there we are, it just sort of comes out, like so, I guess. We can see this new MagSafe adapter, power adapter sort of thing. The cable itself is, again, really nice, a braided sort of cable. Feels really high quality, really expensive feeling. And the actual power adapter, MagSafe adapter, looks pretty cool. Looks pretty darn good. Actually, one thing I did forget to mention before I actually set up the iMac is the power adapter comes with the Ethernet port built in. Again, very useful because there is no Ethernet port in the iMac itself. Okay, so now it's time to actually unwrap the iMac. So, how does this work exactly? Okay, they're just little pull tabs like so. Cool, cool, cool. Bring it back around. And this should just slip off the top. Yep, there we are. And you can see we have the hello text written on here. So this is going to be the satisfying part, I think. God damn, that is very satisfying. Incredibly satisfying. I mean, the finish, as expected, is just absolutely stunning. The design itself, again, I mean, it's up for debate whether people like it or not. A lot of people like it, a lot of people hate it. I'm still sort of in the middle ground when it comes to the design. I don't love it, but I don't absolutely hate it either. The thinness of it, I think, is what is most striking, to be honest. It is just incredibly thin. Like, wow. Okay, so one other thing I do want to show before I actually boot the iMac up is the MagSafe connector going into the back of it. So, how does this? Oh, there we go. It's just magnets. Very secure, to be honest. That is actually pretty damn secure. That's not coming out unless you really give it some. It actually moves the whole screen, but it's not coming out unless you give it some force. But yeah, pretty cool. The main drawback you can see though with that screen is that sort of glass mirror finish. I mean, it just has a lot of reflections. But once you actually have the machine booted up, it might not be much of an issue. So let's boot it up. I also want to quickly thank Setapp for sponsoring this video. Setapp is an awesome service that I use myself that lets you have access to a bunch of high quality apps for an affordable monthly subscription. Setapp curates paid and flagship apps under one roof, with a lot of them being ideal for anyone who is into upping their productivity. If you were to buy each app separately, you'd be paying over $6,000, yet Setapp only costs $9.99 a month. Here are some of my favorites, which include apps like Better Touch Tool, which lets you customize your mouse or trackpad inputs, Sit, which is a color picker, perfect for when I'm designing websites and apps, and Numi, a calculator that can calculate anything. Setapp has a bunch of categories and collections intended to cover the most common use cases like boosting your overall productivity, solving security issues, and managing your finances. Try Setapp for free. I'll leave a link to it down in the description below. So it's ready to go. I'm gonna install my apps and install Setapp, of course. And yeah, I'm gonna actually edit this very video that you're going to be watching on this iMac just to see what it's like and see if it handles it. I mean, it should handle it fine because my current machine is an M1 MacBook Pro and this is pretty much exactly the same, just in an iMac. So yeah, this very video will be edited on this machine. Okay, so after some usage, I'm really impressed. I'm actually very impressed by this iMac. The performance and everything is pretty much exactly the same as my MacBook Pro. The difference is this has actually got 8 GB of RAM rather than 16 on my MacBook Pro. And even with 8 GB of RAM, I had no problem editing this very video. Edited completely fine. I had no issues whatsoever, had no warnings telling me that I've run out of RAM, anything like that. Everything ran very, very smoothly. The resolution of this screen is 4480 by 2520, and by default, the resolution scaling is at 2240 by 1260, which is pretty decent. But on my 5K display, I have it scaled to 2560 by 1440. And on the iMac, you can actually scale the display to also be 2560 by 1440. So I can have the same screen estate as I would on my 5K display, but in just a smaller size. Text, of course, isn't as sharp as it is on my 5K display, but just being able to have the same sort of screen estate, even if the screen is smaller, surprisingly works very well. One of the biggest concerns for a lot of people is that white bezel and whether the white bezel will be annoying. And of course, with the reflections, you know, it having a sort of reflective side. But working on it, actually using it, I don't actually notice it. I didn't notice it one bit whilst I was editing my video, whilst I was doing stuff on the iMac itself. Your mind just naturally ignores it because you're focused on the screen. So the white bezel might not look great for a lot of people at first, but when you're actually using the display, it really doesn't matter. And I actually think with these white walls and the setting that I have, it works really well. It blends in surprisingly well. And that is the point of this iMac, right? This iMac isn't supposed to be a pro machine. It's not supposed to be like really edgy or anything like that. It's meant to be a sort of playful, fun machine that you can have anywhere in the house, and it blends in. And you know what? It really does a good job of that, especially with the thinness of it, the stand, the design in general. It would have been great to not have any chin at all, of course, but I can see why they did it. It's one of Apple's sort of design traits. What makes the iMac iconic, you could say. What makes the iMac recognizable, even if it means it has a chin. I, of course, personally would prefer a black bezel and without any chin, you know, have everything in the back of the display. But Apple have gone with what they've gone with. I have a feeling the Pro models that we'll see, maybe the iMac Pro, won't have the chin, and I have a feeling it will have even thinner bezels, and of course the bezels will be black. Like I said, this machine isn't really designed for pros. It's designed for the casual user, for people who have one machine in the home that is shared amongst a whole family. That's who this machine is ideal for. And with the M1 chip and everything else that you get with it, I mean, it really is a good choice for most families. I've been very happy with it. I've been very happy with the performance, again, with the M1 chip and everything. I've been very happy with the display. And I think I might switch to it as my main machine for the next week or so, see what it's like. But yeah, those are my initial impressions and my review. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter and subscribe for more.